Hey guys, Mike here. So, oh boy, I hate this time of year, by the way, because it gets dark super early, like 5:30 where I'm at, and I just hate it because you feel tired, but at least got an extra hour of sleep last night. So anyway, another busy day coming up this week, which we'll go through what to look for on that. Some big news coming out of China, which I talked about, and then we're going to something you might want to start looking out for because you're starting to see it a lot more. And I think it's going to continue to happen over the next 3 to 6 months for sure. And of course, what I talked to you about China, about all these rumors. And like I said, there wasn't anything official until yesterday. And they come out and reiterate and say, yes, we are sticking to our zero COVID strategy. And you better make sure you're sticking with it or you will be punished severely. And the official that came out, it was the Chinese health officials Saturday, reiterated this. And so, this is something I can't wait to see how the markets actually digest this, or they just ignore it and say, oh, well, we like the rumor better, baby. Keep letting Chinese stocks go up, because I was waiting for this, and it's just like, I don't know what they're doing. I mean, I guess they're just say, hey, we're going back to the Communist Party type economy or something. I don't understand why they would keep doing this. It just blows my mind. But we'll see how the market digests it, whether what they actually said or they like the rumor better. And the other one is, another announcement came out today actually. Meta, no shock here, going to start large-scale layoffs coming up this week, and it will affect thousands of employees. And that kind of leads me to this, because I've been complaining about this, and I think you're seeing something in this now. And Meta's not in this anymore, but the S&P 500 equal weighted versus the big five stocks. Remember, I've always been complaining, a lot of people have, of how much weight just five stocks have. And you can see, though, going back to 2020, 2021, how, the big five didn't have that big of a impact compared to the other ones. But then all of a sudden it switched, right? In 2021, it's a massive impact. In 2022, well, now all of a sudden, look over the far right, you're seeing the opposite. And this is what I was saying. Even when the generals get taken out back, what did you see? The markets were holding up because big money was shifting away from those stocks and shifting into stocks that had been beat down. And that leads me into what you need to be watching out for, okay? And this right here, this is something I talked to the members about a few weeks ago, and I put it in the Discord down here, as you can see. And, it's this whole thing where, we run up, you get the bubble bursts, you can see, comes down, we go below the mean, and then we hit a certain sweet spot to where big money starts to roll into those stocks and tries to get it back to the mean. As you can see, there's a couple posted in here. We're going to go through a few of these. And you saw that I think the poster child for this has to be Netflix, right? Netflix was down a whopping 75%, and it fits that whole narrative exactly, where you got this huge bubble run up, the bubble pops, it absolutely implodes, and now it's trying to get back to the mean. Stocks always revert back to the mean eventually. And usually on the big ones like Netflix, the FANG stocks, those kind of stocks, about 75% seems to be the magic number where big money will step in. The others, smaller companies, more risky, it's usually about 90, right? And so Netflix is up huge, right? Don't mean they can't sell off, okay? PayPal, perfect, stage 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Below the mean, again, ends up going down, and it gets down around 78% on this one before it bounces, right? And then, of course, they start trading in these ranges is what they do. Right now it's getting beat up. But, it was heading back towards that mean, right? And you can draw your own trend line and figure out what mean you think it is. This is what I think it is. But again, that's a huge move up to get there. You go to Square. Again, same thing, right? 82% down. Boom. All of a sudden, big money starts to move in. You saw they really like their earnings before it starts heading back up to the mean. Again, no guarantees happening right now. This could take weeks or months, as you saw with PayPal, right? It was heading straight up to it and then started selling off. Shopify, another prime example, stage 1, 2, and 3, and 4. And, look at this one. Down, what was it, 85% around there. And then, boom, starts to hit a bottom, base out, and the mean's not that far up above it. I mean, it's just right there when you look at that. And the thing you got to start looking out for, and I saw this with all these other stocks, is all of a sudden, shockingly, they go down 75, 90%, depending on the market caps. And then here comes the big institutions with the upgrades, right? As you see, JP Morgan just came out today, upgrade on C Limited. I've never done any research in this stock, so do your own research on this one. Goes from overweight to neutral, price target of 70. Well, if you look and see here, wow, that chart looks really familiar, right? And how it looks. And this stock has just been absolutely pummeled, right? It is down almost 90%, and it's hitting its March 2020 lows. Okay, so it's no surprise all of a sudden they're coming out there with that, because they know this is the game. They get down so far like this and they go, hey, man, we beat it down. And the mean is pretty far up there. I mean, literally that's like maybe a 2x to get back to that. But it doesn't look that far on the chart, right? This is the daily. But this is what all those other stocks look like. It's what these charts look like. And if it does get back to the mean, when it does, let's say it goes from here, it's a 148% move, right? And so what'll happen is you'll start getting these upgrades. Big money will start moving in. And don't forget to hit that like, subscribe button, guys, and share the video. It really helps beat the algorithm and push the videos out to new people and continue to grow the community. I really appreciate everything, guys. And of course, what's going to happen? You're going to start getting, I believe it'll be more upgrades. Again, I haven't even done any research on this company. I don't have to. All I have to do is look at the charts and go, wow, this looks eerily familiar, right? Doesn't mean it's not going to drop. Doesn't mean the rest of them won't drop. That's what PayPal happened, right? PayPal ended up moving up real heavy, big money moving in, boom. Here comes earnings, and about 2 weeks before, they started shorting the heck out of it. But this is how it happens. If you go back to 01, if you go back to 08, all those times you start to see this, especially in these hard hit stocks. This is why the NASDAQ 100, the NASDAQ will bottom out before the S&P, because they still have the oil stocks to go and other stocks in there that oil affects to crash and stuff. But, you know, watch C limit on there. If you're a trader, just watch it. Because to hit that 2020 low, and it's got about, I think, $3 to $5 to go for his exactly. But, you know, that's a huge psychological level. I guarantee this algorithm's programmed like crazy to start hopping in right there. And it's not going to surprise me a bit. Like I said, and I'll keep saying, everybody said Netflix was dead. 70% later, they're like, well, maybe it's not dead yet. I don't know. We'll see. But big money rolled in. Even whether it's for a short-term trade, they're going to do it and then short it and dump it again. Who knows? But those charts right there, they all look dang near identical. You know, there's so many, there's like hundreds of them you look at where you can just almost paste them over top of each other, okay? And that's just what those are doing. And now you're seeing the big boys finally get hit. And when those big mega caps drop, it's, I mean, 50 to 75% somewhere in there versus those other ones upwards of 90%. Your risk reward is way different, right, than buying way up here. And so, I mean, Meta is a whole different story because, I mean, their CEO literally blew the company up, right? Screwed the shareholders. And I'm trying to think, there is a company who did this in the past. And if you know in the comments, please put it down there, that the CEO just blew it up by changing the business model out of nowhere, and they never recovered, right? And of course, TikTok's eating their lunch. And the only way Meta is going to make it, obviously, two ways. One, the metaverse actually works out, but they're hemorrhaging so much money on it. And two, and the reason why the metaverse for them is bad now is because, two, TikTok is eating their lunch, right? There's the percentage of, what is it, Gen X or Z or whatever generation, younger generation is out there, they're not even on Facebook. They're on TikTok, right? And so they better hope the government goes through with some plans which they're trying to get done and ban TikTok. I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's about the only thing that can save them right now in the short term for sure, because if you're not getting the young people in there, what do you think? People my age are jumping in the metaverse? People older, 50, 60, 70, you jumping in the metaverse? I mean, I don't know if I will. I may play a game or something, but don't plan on buying any $140 Google goggles, whatever they're called. I mean, and plus other companies are coming out with those. So yeah, it's going to be a rough go, you know, but there'll be a price point they hit where people will start jumping in because the risk reward will be so good. But right now, that's a rough one, you know. And you know, something else to watch out for, a few things to watch out for this week is, one, you're starting to see a lot more people talk about the Fed balance sheet now, right? I mean, because the pace is actually starting to pick up. I said I would highlight this when it started to happen. Red bars are obviously the drawdowns now, and you can see there's a lot of red bars. You just had the biggest bar they've had in probably years. They drew down again compared to the whole balance sheet. It's nothing. I mean, you can look right over there and you see all the big green bars where they were increasing their balance sheet coming from 2020 and 2021, but they are starting to decrease that, which will start to put pressure on the bond market and mortgage-backed securities and things of that nature. You're going to see it. There's no doubt in my mind about that. And then the other one is what's going to happen with treasuries, right? I talked about the dollar the other day, but the 2-year especially, and you can see, you know, it broke out this bull flag right there. It's moving up, and a lot of people are saying, oh, you know, it's probably going to go to 5, which, I mean, if it goes to 5, the 10-year, then what's to say it's projected to go right between 4.6, 4.7. What's to say it can't do that, right? And of course, as those yields go up, that's usually not good for stocks and stuff. So we'll have to see if that continues. Also have to see if the dollar continues to weaken. And which a lot of people are saying, I don't think so. But again, it's sitting right down that trend line I showed you Friday. And if that breaks, that's been there since February. So it's something to watch, and that actually would be good for stocks. And then earnings, some of these stocks, these charts I just showed you, some of those companies are coming up for earnings, right? I mean, you got Monday. The only one I can really look in here and see is Palantir. Really, is the only one I'm gonna be looking out for. Maybe TripAdvisor at the bottom and see if everybody's traveling. Tuesday, actually, another one to look out for on Monday is gonna be Lyft because they just did a massive layoff. And also look out for Activision Blizzard to see on that one as well. And Tuesday, of course, look at Norwegian. They've been killing it lately. Their stock has, that is. I mean, going up a lot. And to see, are we traveling, right? I know I'm not going to any cruises, but a lot of people seem to be doing that. Walt Disney, are we still going to Disney? Because people keep telling me it's sold out down there, even with school in. Oxy's been killing it. They'll probably just go up and up and up. Upstart, Plug, Affirm to watch out for. Wednesday, Trade Dex. Roblox is a big one because this one's held up unbelievably as the market sold off. I mean, it's just crazy how much big money's moved into that one. Wendy's, just see, hey, are we still eating out? I mean, I've cut my trips down there a little bit because they're charging like $10 a combo, which is ridiculous. Rivian, I think they recalled all their vehicles, but hey, are they actually selling anything? When are we traveling? Coupain's going to be e-commerce. They're starting to spread their wings a little bit. We'll see. Neo, it's just been hammered, taken out of the woodshed. But with China saying what they said, we'll see how people react. Six Flags, are we still going and traveling some more? See how the consumer looks. I don't see too much over here on the right. And then Friday, honestly, I mean, I don't really see anything I'm going to be watching out for. And there's no earnings on here. They're going to move the markets and probably surprise people, to be honest with you. But, we'll see on that one. And then, so that leads me into, obviously, next week, you're going to have November 8th, big voting day. We'll see, how the market reacts to that. But I did this poll the other day with you guys, and, it's, I don't know, in a way sad, in a way, right? And it says, more than 50% of all Americans believe the current political parties do such a poor job that a third major party is needed, according to a Gallup survey. What do you think? And then, I don't know how you get 101% on this, but basically 90% say, yes, we need a third party, or get rid of the party system altogether. And only 10% say no, let's just keep the two parties in place. And I mean, I don't know how anybody likes the two-party system we have. It makes no sense to me. I can't figure it out. And my biggest argument for it is simply, it just, people have stopped thinking for themselves. There's just too many people out there. It's over half the country at least. It just, and unfortunately, the 90% that voted to get, at least a third party or to get rid of the party system altogether, I guarantee you 50 to 75% of them are going to walk in there on November 8th if they ain't already voted, and they're just going to vote R or D. That's it. They're not even going to think about it. They're not going to look at who's running or anything. Just going right down the list, And to me, that's what the two-party system's done. It's just taken, your own way of thinking, or actually challenging you to think about who you're actually going to put in there out of the equation, right? We teach, I know I teach my kid, think for yourself, but now you talk to most people, nothing but tribalism, and nope, this is what I'm doing here. That's all I can do, and just R-D, donkey, and or elephant. I mean, it's insane to me, and it's just sad, kind of where I've seen the political system go over the last 30 years, to be honest with you. So I don't know. Let me know what you think down in the comments and stuff, and I'll end up seeing you guys tomorrow. Hope you have a good night, and oh boy, it's gonna be dark in the morning when I wake up. Right, it's where it gets dark. It's gonna be dark when I wake up. And then at 5:30 it gets dark, I believe, this time of the year. Let me know what you think. What's your favorite time of the year? All right. Anyway, see you guys tomorrow.